May I send my very best wishes for St. Patrick's Day to the people of Ireland and to our global family and friends around the world. I do so with particular warmth in this year, when we commemorate the centenary of one of the most significant events in our nation's journey to independence, the Easter Rising of 1916. As we come together to celebrate our Irishness on our National Day, it is appropriate that we not only recall our founding moments, but also take the opportunity to imagine what Ireland might yet become. We might ask ourselves how we might best use that freedom which was handed down to us by previous generations in such a way as will serve all our people. As to 1916, with the benefit of rich and recent scholarship, we can appreciate in a new way the complexity of the historic event that was the Easter Rising. We can now acknowledge the diverse identities, backgrounds, and experiences of those who participated in it, as well as the varied ideologies and beliefs that motivated them. We also recognize that whatever their differing priorities, all of these men and women were at one in their commitment to rejecting empire. All of them were determined to achieve independence and to proclaim a free republic with equal rights and opportunities for all its citizens. 100 years later, as we reflect on the proclamation of 1916 and the idealism that inspired it, we are urged to re-engage with the work of crafting together a republic worthy of that title. We are invited to seek to achieve the unfulfilled promises of the past as we imagine together new possibilities for our present and collective future. In undertaking that task, we can draw on the aspirations expressed in different places and at different times by our people since the founding moments of our state. In the democratic programme of the First Dáil in 1919, in Bunreacht na hÉireann in 1937, and in the sentiments expressed at the moment of the formal establishment of the Irish Republic in 1948. As a people, we have, of course, revisited our Constitution on many occasions, seeking to ensure that the principles it enshrines bring us closer to the ideals of freedom, justice, and equality that were proclaimed in 1916. The need for idealism remains. On many occasions since my inauguration as President of Ireland, I have witnessed idealism of so many at every level of our society here in Ireland, and amongst our extended family around the globe, who are working for the creation of a better world at home and abroad. Their sense of justice and solidarity is reflected in a multitude of actions that it is a pleasure to acknowledge. When we Irish are at our best, we are a nation defined by a commitment to human rights, creative imagination, and at a global level, the upholding of freedom from oppression. In this new century, we Irish have a most valuable contribution to make in the global fight against extreme poverty, hunger, and in our response to climate change. Conscious of our history and culture, we can give a lead to in crafting a human response to the ongoing refugee crisis. We can, in so many ways, continue the work of making Ireland the real republic of which our founders dreamed. May I wish all Irish people by birth or descent, and those who have made new homes here in Ireland, and all who share our National Day with us, a very happy St. Patrick's Day. Berbannach.
Tell me go away and hide away in a little lane. Hide away in a lane. Why?
Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and the dead generations from which she received her old tradition of nationhood, Ireland, through us, summons her children to her flag and strikes for her freedom.
I went to England many years ago in the 60s. When my mother died of cancer a couple of years ago, I decided to return to Ireland. All authorities refused to help me. They kept telling me to go back to England. Eventually, it took nearly 9 months, and the appeal process came heavily down on my side and said, yes, Mr. Keane's an Irish national, he's fully entitled. They want us to hide away in alleys. I have them wake me up at 5:30, 4:45 in the morning and tell me go away and hide away in a little lane. Hide away in a lane. Why?
I've been doing this for years and years and years, and I've never seen the homelessness as bad as it is now. I'm actually shocked about how many older men there is, just sleeping everywhere, especially O'Connell Street, but I'm sure they're sleeping down every street. It's just that we're in here doing the Christmas decorations now that you actually see it.
The people that stood on this doorstep of 1916 did not stand for this. They did not want to create this type of Dublin. They wanted to create where we would all have equal opportunities. But hang on, that's not happening. That's totally not happening. These people must be turning in their graves. You know what I mean? They must be so ashamed of, you know, what Dublin has become. You know, because it certainly isn't the Dublin these people fought and died for. It certainly isn't.
If we stopped doing it, I wouldn't be able to sit at home because I wouldn't be doing anything. Can't be one of them people that say, oh, I pity the homeless out there, you know. I just have to get up and do something about it. And so is all the girls. And
Prove itself worthy of the august destiny to which it is called.
Hide away in a little lane. Hide away in a lane. Why? Tell me go away and hide away in a little lane. Hide away in a lane. Why? Tell me go away and hide away in a little lane. Hide away in a lane. Why? Tell me go away and hide away in a little lane. Hide away in a lane. Why?